came here to say that you don't really want it with us. Yeah, we love you know. We came here to say that you don't really want it with us. Yeah, the sports show.
Yeah.
Yerrr.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Yerrr Sports Show, episode 65. I am your host, Big Baby, aka the soul of R&B. Before I introduce you, okay, never mind. He'll be back in a second, and then I'll make fun of him when he gets back in here. To my he'll be on the bottom left or the bottom right when Matt comes back in. The voice of the generation, Pete Rosado.
What's up, everybody? Happy Memorial Day! And my thoughts and wishes go out to everybody who has family or friends and know anyone who served this country and paid the ultimate sacrifice on Memorial Day. This Memorial Day,
most definitely. And when BK Matt comes back, it'll be BK Matt. Somebody's phone's ringing in the background. I wish they would get it. And to the top right, the head of the Yerrr Sports Show table, the Queen, 7K. Hey, what's going on?
What's up, everybody? Happy Memorial Day. Some gave all and all gave some.
Most definitely.
Hey.
We got Maxine Shaw at the bottom right. Shout out to my man with them.
I'm gonna let it slide. It's been a rough day. I'm gonna let that slide. Dang,
we always have a rough day.
Because I'm married. That's what it is. That's why it is. Because I'm married. That's all it is. What's going on, y'all?
Y'all just need 5 minutes with each other, bro. Bro, y'all just need 5 minutes with each other. But how's everybody's weekend? We've had a 3-day weekend. This is it. I had my birthday this past weekend, so that was cool.
Yep. My daughter's birthday was also this weekend. It was yesterday. Yep. I officially have a teenager.
Ooh, have fun.
You better have fun because I'm not it.
You're clown.
Oh, man.
It was off and on for me. I mean, it was, the highlight was, I got to spend time with my brothers and my sister. A couple of my in-laws came out. We celebrated my mom. And then the Knicks lost,
So that was a good thing?
That was a bad thing. That was the bad thing. That was the bad thing. Yeah. So, yeah.
Pete, you were celebrating a birthday too this weekend. Mama Rosado's birthday was this weekend.
Yeah, my mom's birthday was this past Saturday, along with yours, Dre, which is what kept me, unfortunately, from attending the incredible Battle Club Pro show this past weekend. I was celebrating with Mom, and I'm literally giving her the look at the same time, like I could be at this show right now. But no, we had a great time, and then Sunday. Celebrated with her as well on Sunday. Took her out on Saturday and then celebrated at the house on Sunday with her and my grandmother who's in New York at the current moment. So really having a good time there.
Most definitely.
And I got to sleep in today.
Lucky, I did as well. I think we all did except Matt because Matt is
got kids.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt. Well, no. Take out a child and
no, she has a teenager. That's a young adult.
I went through it. I
have demons.
And I handled it with grace.
That's what I have. These little demons won't let me sleep. It's every morning. They'll go to sleep late, wake up early in the morning. Daddy, I want soup. I need something to drink. I want something to drink. No, Daddy, what you doing?
That's funny.
They looking right at me doing something. Like I'm cooking oxtails. Daddy, what you doing? I'm cooking. What you cooking? Oxtails. Oxtails? What's oxtails? How do you explain that? like how do you really I'm like,
you tell them what it is.
It's a tail of an ox.
As my mama and my grandmother used to say, I'm cooking food.
Yes, that don't really work for 3 or 4 year olds.
No, not really. I don't think it would.
Because then it turns into, why are you mad? Mad questions. I'm not prepared for these answers. They're not prepared for the answers. But yeah. Crazy, man.
Yeah, I know it is.
Matt, you seem to sound like the days when we was on Skype.
Am I? That's a new mic. I'm using a new mic.
No, your camera look like we still on Skype. That's what.
No, that's the lighting. It's the lighting. I'm not gonna hold just the lighting. I gotta get that 100-watt. You know, we can't all afford great lighting and a whole team like 7K Tay over there. But I do the best that I can. She got a whole production over there.
A production team,
makeup crew and everything. Like, jeez.
I'm gonna let that slide because I'm happy that you're in the episode. So you got that.
I missed y'all too.
Yes, most definitely. With the is on here. So let's not waste.
Don't pay no attention to this child. She don't go any other time until it's time for me to record.
Until the show is on.
Because she wanted us to tell her happy birthday or happy belated birthday, niece. Yeah. We love you, niece.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, Pete, you got some quick hits for us?
So, couple things. Yeah, just a couple things.
All right, let's rock and roll. And I totally forgot to change the music, so we're definitely going to get copyrighted. I will do it next week. Let's get right into it. So definitely rest in peace to Pete's running theme. That's the name of the theme. So, this is to be the last week you hear it. If you hear it again, curse me out. Let's rock and roll.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again on this Memorial Day. Quick hits, and we're going to start with something that literally happened one day after we recorded. Phil Mickelson became the oldest major champion in golf history. That's right, all 161 years of golf history. Phil Mickelson became the oldest major champion when he won the PGA Championship last Sunday at the age of 50 years old. The previous record was 48 by Julius Boros, who won the 1968 PGA Championship at the age of 48. It was Phil Mickelson's sixth major championship overall and his first since 2013. And what made it very surprising was he had not registered a top 20 finish in 9 months and had ranked only the 115th in the world. He finished 2 shots above Brooke Koepka to win the PGA Championship last week. 50 years old. You know what? I think golf is the one sport where legitimately you get this idea of anybody can win any championship on any given weekend.
They used to be like that. You used to just hear like 2 or 3 names, but now now it's everybody.
Yeah, I remember when it was Ernie Els, it was Vijay Singh, it was Tiger Woods, it was Phil Mickelson. That was it. And then we started getting the other names, and those young names have kind of fallen off, but we always kind of hear some new names in golf. Let's move to the NFL, where the Eagles have promoted Catherine Raichie to the Vice President of Football Operations position. She is now believed to be the highest-ranking female executive in NFL history. Philadelphia Eagles making a little NFL history this past week. That title was previously held by Kelly Klein, who was named the Executive Director of Football Operations and Special Advisor to the General Manager for the Broncos. So Catherine Raichie, the Vice President of Football Operations for the entire Philadelphia Eagles organization. Congratulations to Catherine Raichie. The Seattle Seahawks, ladies and gentlemen, and the Atlanta Falcons have been discussing a possible trade for wide receiver Julio Jones. It has been reported that quarterback Russell Wilson and wide receiver Julio Jones have been in touch and have had multiple phone conversations about the possibility of playing with each other. Everyone knows they already have DJ Lockett and Lockett, and I'm forgetting the other kid's name, in Seattle. Earlier this week, it was reported that Atlanta does have an offer.
I'm sorry, you mean DK Metcalf, right?
Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Thank you very much, big baby. Earlier this week, Atlanta reported they did have an offer of a future first-round pick on the table for Julio Jones, and they have been telling all teams that they are not listening to anything that does not have a first-round pick attached to it. It's interesting to note that Seahawks do not have a first-rounder this upcoming year, as they use that one to trade for Jamal Adams, safety for the Jets. Still in the NFL, big retirement happened earlier this week. NFL all-time leading scorer, kicker Adam Vinatieri, has decided to retire from the NFL after 24 seasons. That's right. He is the NFL.
He's like 100 years old.
He is
the hell with that man.
Funny thing is, he's only 48 years old.
You said 88?
He's 48?
Yeah, 88.
That's old.
He is a three-time
in any sport.
Three-time Pro Bowl selection, first team All-Pro 3 times, scored 2,673 points in his career, and made a record 599 field goals in his 24-year career, where he spent 10 years with the New England Patriots and the last 14 years of his career, and I thought it was shorter, with the Indianapolis Colts. He has 29 game-winning kicks in his career, and no kicker has more Super Bowl rings than Adam Vinatieri. He has 4, 3 that he won with the Patriots and 1 that he won with the Colts. And he's also the only player in league history to top 1,000 points with 2 different franchises. Adam Vinatieri going off into retirement.
The hell with him.
It's time for him to go. It's time. It's all right.
The hell with him.
Here's my question though. I gotta wonder, if you had a game-winning kick to have to kick, and you only had one choice, Adam Vinatieri or Sebastian Janikowski.
I don't trust nobody else from the Patriots. I'll digress that. I don't like Adam Vinatieri.
I don't want to leave my game in the hands of a kicker.
Because I like the Rams. I love the Rams at one point in time. You know, I was a really big Marshall Faulk fan, right? And Isaac Bruce fan. I hate Adam Vinatieri.
Vinatieri broke those hearts.
You remember, like, when football used to be like, you'll have your favorite team, but it was a whole bunch of stars everywhere.
Yeah.
To where the certain games you'd be like, okay, I want such and such to win. And you know, it's kind of like that, but not to the same extent it was anymore.
Like, I ain't gonna hold you. I was a Marshall Faulk fan. Kurt Warner, I could vibe with Kurt Warner for a little bit.
I like Kurt Warner a little bit.
Kurt Warner was all right, you know. He was all right. But we ain't gonna deny, like, you know, Michael Vick wasn't our favorite quarterback around that time.
I was a huge
we're not gonna make that do something.
I mean, I was a huge Brett Favre fan. Don't get me wrong, but I was a low key Steve McNair, Eddie George fan. Like, whenever the Titans were on television and McNair and Eddie George were playing, I was watching those games.
Like, I didn't like Donovan McNabb until Terrell Owens and Brian Westbrook.
Let me say something. I would say my favorite quarterback, like Pete said, during that time was like the Brett Favre, and it went right into Peyton Manning for me.
Oh, I love Peyton Manning. There was nothing nobody could tell me about Peyton Manning.
And then, of course,
Peyton Manning is the equivalent to Tim Tebow to a lot of these fans, which I don't understand.
I think he's a bigger deal.
Peyton?
No, I'm not saying that he's not a bigger deal. I'm just saying how I view Peyton Manning is how I feel like the football community should view him, but they view Tim Tebow in that light. I think they should view Peyton Manning in that light, because Tim Tebow is like Jesus to them. I don't understand it.
I don't get that either, because what has he done? I mean, during his career, I didn't see anything that was really like, you know, oh my goodness, besides the prayer stance, which was like the thing that he was best known for.
I think that's just what it was. It was just I don't know. Like, it's hard to say it without sounding very ignorant. Like, you know how like everybody viewed Larry Bird like the great white hope. I feel like that's how everybody viewed Tim Tebow in the football world. It's like the great white hope, and I don't understand it. So I don't know.
Unfortunately, some talk about some dumbness in the world of Major League Baseball. Braves outfielder Marcell Ozuna is out on $20,000 bail after being arrested for felony assault of his wife this past weekend. Sandy Springs police said they entered the home and saw Ozuna grab his wife by the neck, throw her against the wall, and strike her with his cat as they were having a disagreement. Apparently, both parties have been going through divorce proceedings. Ozuna is already out in Major League Baseball with an injury, an arm injury that's going to cost him upwards of a month. So he is on the injured list in Major League Baseball, but Major League Baseball did come out with a statement saying that he does face a suspension from Major League Baseball as they are investigating what happened this past weekend. And, this is his second year with the Braves after signing a 4-year contract last year.
We say the same thing every time we hear one of these cases. Just because you're an athlete or anybody with status does not mean you have more rights than the next person. Don't put your hands on anybody.
But why is this not getting a lot of media attention is what I'm trying to understand.
Right. I didn't hear about it until you just told me.
Me either.
Yeah. I heard about it on Saturday. I heard about it on Saturday when it occurred. Sunday when it occurred, and then I read an update on the story today, just to make sure that nothing new had happened to prepare for quick.
Even the situation with what is that guy? The guy from the Seahawks who was abusing his girlfriend. I haven't heard anything since.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, were you expecting anything different?
We should. We should.
And still keep the pressure on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And some sad news. While Matt was talking about some sad news watching the Knicks game, some real sad news out of the NBA this past weekend. As 7'4" Jazz center, and I call him a legendary center for the Jazz at least, Mark Eaton passed away this past Saturday at the age of 64 due to an unfortunate bicycle crash in Utah. Police found him on the side of the road, was able to take him to a local hospital where he passed away this past Saturday, actually. He was a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, spent his entire career with the Jazz. He led the league in blocks per game 4 times, and his single season average of 5.6 blocks per game in 1984-1985 still remains the highest single season record. And his career record of 3.51 blocks per game also stands as the NBA record for blocks in a blocks in a career. He was a 5-time all-defensive team selection, 3 times NBA first team, and he was one of the first jerseys retired by the Jazz. He had been previously mentoring the only other Jazz center to win Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert, and is one of the only 3 players who has spent the most time with the Jazz in their career, alongside Karl Malone and John Stockton. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Mark Eaton and the entire Jazz organization at this untimely passing. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is quick hits for the week of March. May. We're in May, 31st.
I'm
thrown up. Monday, March, blah, 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 blah.
Monday, March, everything. All right, let's get into today's main topics because this first one is going to be a bit of a doozy. Most definitely. It's crazy. I would think this would be this song to be copyrighted because it's a sample or something, and it's not. But I'll be cool with it. What is that?
It's only if you're really making money off of it. We're not getting paid on YouTube.
I'm not getting paid. Yeah, we're not getting paid off YouTube, and they strike the other song too.
Yeah, I don't get that either. But yeah.
Right. But you sent me the email, right? I'm sure you did. Okay.
No, you did. I got you. I'm about to do it right now. I'm by my computer now, so I can do it.
Good. Okay, Miss Naomi Osaka. Before we get exactly into it, I'm just gonna paint the picture out. Athletes and the media have had the most toxic relationship with each other. We go from Charles Barkley telling everybody I'm not a role model and speaking his mind in the media, to just recently Kyrie Irving at the beginning of the season, and now Naomi Osaka just recently, and Marshawn Lynch in the past during the Super Bowl championship year. Now, Naomi Osaka was fined $15,000 by the and was threatened to not be able to participate in the French Open for not participating in media right after her first round match. And she ended up walking out of the tournament, which we just found out as we're recording.
Dated.
She definitely did.
That's what you got to do sometimes.
She's been talking about she's been going through a lot of what is it, guys? It's just slipping from me.
Mental depression. She's depressed.
She's going through a lot of mental depression and anguish, and she's been going through this for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
My question to you guys, and I'm going to start with Tay with this: does the media and athletes have to come to some type of solution, or does this fall on only the athletes? Because most athletes are required to speak to the media.
I think that I'm going to keep the same energy, because when Kyrie did it early in the season, I was like, look, you have to, this is a part of your job. You get what I'm saying? And right now, although I sympathize with Naomi's, mental issues and everything like that, I feel as if this is something that comes with the job. Like, if you're somebody who's a bus driver, right? And you're like, look, this is my job, this is my career, but I don't want to work on this particular route. Is either you want to do it or you don't. You get what I'm saying? And I feel as if you want to get the notoriety and the fame, this comes with it.
Pete, your thoughts?
Here's the thing. Naomi Osaka spoke to the media directly after her first round win. She said she didn't want to do the press conference. She had no problem answering questions as they do on the court, after a win or after a loss. She had no issues doing that. She said she had no issues doing that. She said she did not want to have to engage in the pool press conferences after matches. So she was still willing to meet with the media. She just didn't want to go and do the whole press conference.
That's the easier thing. So I don't understand that, because do your little 15 minutes and go on about your business. Unfortunately, unlike Kyrie, the WTA does not have a collective bargaining agreement. Like they don't have there is no selected rule in anything that states she has to do this in a certain specific way. Right? It is in the NBA collective bargaining agreement that players have to make themselves available to the media and do these interviews and engage in these press conferences. In the WTA code of conduct, all it says is that she has an obligation to meet with the media. It doesn't say how. It doesn't say how much. It doesn't say when. It doesn't say anything like that. It just says she has an obligation to meet with the media. And I read through that code of conduct earlier today, knowing that we were going to talk about this. It does not define those things like an NBA's collective bargaining agreement does. So we know what it means. I mean, it's like we getting caught up on semantics and technicalities. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. You think Serena wanted to go through these media interviews when the media was calling her all kinds of names and monsters and this, that, and the third, but you know what she did?
She did it. And there were times that Serena, there were times during that time period, Tay, if you remember, where Serena refused interviews. Serena refused to do interviews with certain people. Serena refused to do interviews with certain outlets. Here's the difference. Okay, the WTA thought it could throw its weight around with Naomi Osaka. It thought, oh, she's young, she's 23, we could throw our weight around with her. They couldn't do that with Serena because never once did they go at Serena and try to attack Serena for not wanting to do certain interviews. They went to her quietly. No, the WTA would go to her quietly. The WTA wouldn't do it. The media would do it, but the WTA would go to her quietly. Serena, how can we help? How can we do this? What can we do to make you happy? Boom. They tried to throw their weight around with Naomi Osaka. And Naomi Osaka said, you know what? I'm going to go home.
But I don't think it's throwing their weight around. I think you got to earn your keep in a way, too. Serena could not have gotten away with that at this stage in her career. Think about when Serena was 23, 24 years old. I mean, Naomi Osaka has been a thing now for, 2 years, maybe 3 years? If that.
It's about 3 or 4, right?
Yeah, 3 years. To be fair, I'll say 3. You get what I'm saying? And as somebody who has a love-hate thing about the media, I do understand where she's coming from. So let me get that straight. But this is your world. Period.
BK Matt, you're foaming at the mouth for this.
Look, WTA, GTA, Young MA. A job is a job. You got to do what you're supposed to do. I get there's like semantics in it that says she's not obligated. But if this is your brand, your name is your brand. What you guys told me, y'all taught me this. Queen taught me this. Your name is your brand, and you represent not only yourself but the leagues that you play in, the sport that you play in. So this is where me and Pete kind of went, head to head in it. The energy that was held for Kyrie Irving when he did this, and it was the same reasoning, mental depression. He's going through certain things because of what's going on in the world today. How the media treats him and how he treats the media. There's a lot of things that played into why he didn't want to do what he wanted to do. It's not right. It's not right. It's not right. I'm not saying that it's right.
Wait.
But we all said it's his job.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. Do you see the public sentiment towards Naomi has been way more positive than it was with Kyrie?
Well aware of that. But this is what I was trying to explain to Pete. I get, prior to these situations, the media looks at Kyrie like he's a dick. We got it. We understand that. But in certain aspects of the problem and the topic of that moment, he doesn't want to deal with the media. He doesn't want to talk to the media. If we can have the same mentality, she's going through something, I understand it, I give her the benefit of the doubt. Why couldn't y'all do it with Kyrie? Why? Because he was a dick? Mental depression is real, wrong or right. No matter how much of a dick somebody is. If they're going through something, they're going through something. So this is my problem. I feel like certain energies need to be kept. Like how we said, it's a job. This is your job. These are the responsibilities that come in your career. This is what comes with your career. Not nothing towards her. She's a great athlete. She's a great human being. Mental depression is a real thing. I understand everything that she did. I'm on her side. My point is, energies need to be kept the same. If you felt the way about Kyrie Irving missing these media appointments, I don't care about the collective bargaining agreement. Mental depression is real. If that is the same, if it's the same exact reasoning. If y'all gave that the benefit of the doubt for her, it needs to be kept the same for Kyrie. Kyrie can't be a dick because he doesn't want to talk to the media because he's in his head dealing with something. That's my only thing.
So I just want to bring this up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I'm listening.
They fined Naomi Osaka $15,000, right?
Yes.
And the reasoning they use, and I'm going to quote the WTA, quote, Naomi Osaka today chose not to honor her contractual media obligations. The Roland Garros referee has therefore issued her a $15,000 fine in keeping with Article 3H of the Code of Conduct. Okay, let's look at what Article 3H says. Player support or team members shall not conduct themselves in a manner that will reflect unfavorably on the WTA or any WTA tournament, player, official, or the game of tennis. So Naomi Osaka not wanting to talk to the media reflects unfavorably on the WTA? Why?
Yes. Yes, because she
Why?
doesn't want to participate in media that
Well,
helps
hold on.
promote the
So you're
brand.
finding her because you're saying that she's putting you in an unfavorable light, or she's doing something to put the WTA in an unfavorable light. I don't think anything that she did puts the WTA in an unfavorable light.
Pete, you said it a couple months ago with Kyrie. I'm like back in December. It makes everybody. It makes the Nets organization look bad because they are allowing Kyrie Irving to do what he's doing. So they need to get fined and make him participate in media, right? And that's what happened.
As part of the collective bargaining agreement, which the players and the league agreed upon, he had an a contractual. She does not. If you look in the code of conduct, there is no contractual obligation for her to do the media appearances of a press conference.
So basically, to jump in, it's like a job with no union, right? So because it's a job with no union, you're basically at the mercy of the job. If you do not tie your sneakers the right way, the job can fire you just because. If it's raining outside and you're breathing too hard, they can fire you just because.
Right.
And basically, this is the same situation. But again, if they don't find the biggest star in tennis right now, it's going to set a precedent where other players could be like, oh, I don't got to do media. All right, cool. So, unfortunately, as great as Naomi Osaka is, and we by far are no way in shape saying shut up and swing your racket. We're definitely not saying that. We are saying that because of the obligations, even though it's not contractually obligated, but because you play in tournaments, and every tournament you have to do media, you have to do your job. It's part of your job. We sympathize with her. We all do. All four of us do. I'm sure everybody does. Fortunately, these are the rules that they're made, even if they're coming up off the fly. Unfortunately, these are the things that, she has to do. So,
well, from what he's saying and how he read it, it sounds like her not participating in media makes them look bad. It kind of does.
It does, because it makes it seem like, well, I don't want to do media because I am, I'm going through something, and doing media is, for the WTA will affect me. So now people can look at the WTA like, oh,
why is it affecting her? What are y'all doing to her?
Right. What are you doing?
She said it. She said that there are questions that are asked because, unfortunately, and I'm going to be straight up, there are too many sports media people who are reporters who think they are psychoanalysts at the same time and want to ask questions and think they know. There are people who have never played the game at all and who want to ask questions as if they played the damn game, who want to psychoanalyze players as if they played the game and know what to do, what not to do, what a player thinking. Okay. Right. And Naomi straight up said it. She's like, I don't want to deal with that at this current moment. Again, she did not say she was unwilling to do all media. She was willing to do media. But again, it's like what Dre said, unfortunately.
She has to do the media that they want her to do.
Right.
So,
and they didn't have a rule for it, and they clocked her for some unnecessary rule that don't play for it, but they clocked her for it. And you know what she said? I'm going to take my ball and go home.
Go ahead, Matt.
So my question is to you, Pete. And I've been asking you this all day. You've been avoiding it, right? Yeah, you've been avoiding it. I'm going to ask you this question.
Okay.
So, do you sympathize with Osaka? You sympathize with her, right?
I empathize with her. Yes, I do.
You understand how she feels, and you can understand that's trying on your mental state, right?
If she is truly going through what she's going through, I empathize with her. Yes.
Did you sympathize with Kyrie?
I empathize with Kyrie. I did, but I did not agree with what Kyrie did simply because he has a contractual obligation because his union, which represents the players and the league, agreed that this is what must be done. And if he had had a problem with that as a higher level player in the league, he could have easily gone to the union when they were going over the CBA and said something. He legitimately, in his job, in his union contract, it states, this is what you must do. He decided not to. But again, he did not come out and say he was having any mental health issues until after the BS. happened.
No, he's been said it. He
No,
said
no,
it
in the
long
beginning.
before.
He said it before.
He said it long
I thought he
before
said it.
that.
I thought he said it afterwards because at first it was a different excuse.
Right.
So I
At
would
first, it was
say
like,
that.
I don't want to do media, da-da-da-da-da. I'm not making myself available. I'm going to be doing things different this season. I don't want the media, this and this and this, distorting what I'm saying and whatever. And then after
That
he
was
got
the excuse.
fined twice, after the NBA fined him twice, he came out and then
did say that.
said, oh,
This is the second
mental
time getting
health issue.
fined. This is the second time getting fined. Like a couple weeks ago. That was the second time getting fined. He got fined in December, and he got fined, what was it, May 5th? 10th? I'm not, May 10th. It's something over May 15th, 15th, one of the three. But he just got fined recently, right? That's the second time getting fined.
I'm talking
Right.
about back when the NBA was still virtual. I'm talking about
Yeah,
back
we're
I know
before
what
talking
you're
back in the
we're talking
beginning
I
of
know
the
what you're
season.
We're
I
talking
know
about
what you're talking about.
He was out there rubbing sage in Boston.
So
Okay.
to be transparent, I looked it up. This was sometime in January after when he said it.
Right.
We
talked about it before. We talked about it way before that.
Right, but in December, the fine that Matt is talking about, yes, he's right. He got fined in December, but then in January it came up about the mental health days where he actually went into detail about what was going on. So yes, I agree. But I think Matt's question is, again, if you take the semantics out of it, like Matt has been saying most of the day, do you, like I said, you empathize with Naomi, but do you have that same empathy for Kyrie Irving? That's what he's saying.
I have empathy for whatever mental health issues that Kyrie is going through. Yes, I do. The same way I empathize with whatever Naomi Osaka is going through. The only difference that I have is that Kyrie Irving was under a contractual obligation to do something, and he chose not to do it. Naomi Osaka was not. She said, I didn't want to do it. They got upset with her, and she said, I'm going to go home. That's it.
But my thing is, if she couldn't get fined if she wasn't contracted. She wasn't contracted to do that.
But look at how they worded the fine.
Well, don't you have to sign contracts to play in these tournaments because they have to pay you?
Once she's a part of the WTA, usually they select the draw. So the WTA tournaments, if you qualify for the tournament, they put you into the tournament. Now, most of the top players are going to be in outside of injury and things like that. Some of the amateur players, the lower seeded players, they have to earn their way into the tournaments. But most of the top players are in the tournaments regardless because those are the players that bring the ratings. Serena Williams, Venus, when she was still playing at a high level, Naomi Osaka, these are the people that bring the ratings for women's tennis. And at the end of the day, if Naomi Osaka was not injured in any way, unavailable to play, there was no way any major would not put her in the draw.
Absolutely. Agreed. To some exciting stuff. Woo! These NBA playoffs.
No, I ain't excited. Don't do that.
No. These NBA playoffs have been quite
It was
exciting.
exciting for Miami.
I don't know how you excited. Miami got swept. I don't know how you excited at all.
Listen,
the Miami's going. They're going.
Jimmy Butler was playing with people's kids, and
somebody was playing with his kids. That's he was in his head. Something was wrong with him. I don't know what was going on.
No,
I'm mad to say it. Giannis locked Jimmy Butler up.
He did.
But that's what he was supposed to be doing. I'm not impressed.
Yo, like I'm more mad at Miami than I'm impressed with the Bucks.
I'm not impressed. I'm just saying what happened. Look, regardless of what y'all thinking, Milwaukee ain't going to the finals. I don't care what nobody.
Who's y'all? We don't.
I'm saying people in general. Oh. Milwaukee look nice. Chris Middleton got a little jump shot. He doing his little thing. Let's see if that lasts. Drew Holiday is the real deal. I've been saying Drew Holiday is the real deal. PJ Tucker is the real deal. Giannis, what he doing is cute. It's cool, but I want to see it on a bigger stage. And that's just what it is. If you can't get past Brooklyn or Philadelphia, all that for nothing. Kevin Durant is back. Let's get that straight. He's back. So all this Giannis is the second coming of LeBron. He's top 2, top 3. Out the window.
No, but
KD is back.
At the end of the day, this was a big series for Milwaukee because they exercised a major demon from last year. They did exercise a major demon from last year, and that was a big win. It was definitive. It was 4-zip. definitively that they put away Miami. And again, Miami, we talked about it all year. Miami's returning the same team from last year.
Hardly, because I haven't seen Tyler Hero playing, and they damn sure didn't start Dragic. I ain't understand that at all. Dre, you on mute, so you can't be heard right now.
Miami's been beat up and COVID restrictions and all this stuff all year. So, and a lot of teams have. So I'm not going to give the excuse to Miami. Milwaukee was the better team. Let's see what Milwaukee can do against Brooklyn, because that's who they got up next, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think they would play the lower seed remaining, correct? Because they're the higher seed.
Who? Milwaukee?
Milwaukee's 4?
They're
Milwaukee's 4, right?
Yeah. No. Milwaukee's 3rd. They're gonna play.
Yeah. So okay. They'll play. They'll
play Atlanta.
No, they'll play the Brooklyn Nets. Philly got the number 1 seed, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Philly will play Atlanta unless the Knicks come back.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the Knicks find a way to come back.
Let me tell you something.
We're gonna speak about them right now.
Let me tell you something about this, right? First of all, Trae Young. All right, let me rephrase this before I start cursing.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay now. We it's okay.
We on the YouTubes and the Twitch.
Trae Young is a whole bitch.
Preach.
He looks like he still sucks his thumb.
Oh my God!
He looks like
a
crackhead member of the Barge family. That's who he looks like, right?
We ain't never gonna get no people on the show.
What he's doing to be as impressive as how the Knicks are failing. You get what I'm saying? I feel like what he's doing is corny. It's the Knicks that are breaking down right before our eyes. You know how terrible it is that where is Julius Randle? It's as if the clock struck 12 and he turned back into a pumpkin. Like, what happened? Where are you? The Knicks was making this series competitive because of their second unit led by Derrick Rose, who had to change up his whole entire game to still be an active player in the NBA. If it wasn't for Derrick Rose and Todd and Gibson, the older role players, you know what I'm saying? The Knicks would not have even made this series even a little competitive. Now, I do see them winning the next game. I do. I do see this series going to 6. You get what I'm saying? But this series has been abysmal for the Knicks first unit. They all disappeared. Now, do you say that Atlanta is beating their ass or they beating their own ass at this point? That's what I really want to know. And all I've always said was that the Knicks were 1 or 2 key pieces away from being one of the best teams in the league, not only the Eastern Conference. Look at what they were able to do this season, which was a lot more than what people gave them credit for. You get what I'm saying? Now, on another thing, somebody spit on Trae Young, which is one of the most disrespectful things you could do to someone. And last night, somebody threw a bottle at Kyrie. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're not here. These athletes are not here to be disrespected. You paid your money to see them play. Let them play and stop being disgusting.
And I kind of don't want the fans. It's been these things that have happened this past week that I'm like, yo, why are fans being let in, right? Like, yo, I'm glad that all 3 of the fans, the fan that threw the popcorn, the fan that spit on Trae Young, and the fan that threw the bottle on Kyrie, I believe all 3 of them got lifetime bans from their arenas.
And the one who threw the bottle at Kyrie got he got a felony. He has a felony charge.
Yeah, so it's crazy. Tay said it right. Yo, Julius Randle, we was out here talking about.
Hey, Amanda.
I take full responsibility. I said out here that Julius Randle deserved to be in the MVP conversation for what he did in the regular season. But boy, oh boy, is that man, he's in witness protection in the playoffs. He don't know what's going on, what's happening, And unfortunately, this is something that I've spoken about with other people about the Knicks this season.
Mm-hmm.
I I didn't know how the Knicks would do in a series. Because when you have to see the same team day after day after day, they're going to figure out your deficiencies. And again, I'm going to agree with Tay. Trae Young a whole bitch. I ain't seen players. I ain't seen a player get so many phantom calls against the Knicks since Reggie Miller was shooting threes. Okay? I ain't seen nobody get that many phantom calls since Reggie.
Trade the barge.
We want to talk about
Trade the barge.
Listen, LeBron James has got competition. LeBron James got competition for the flop master. Okay.
No, he doesn't.
Young,
No, he doesn't. No, he
Trae
doesn't.
Young.
Trae Young.
Sorry, no.
Trade the barge. Trade the barge. Flop just as bad as LeBron.
Yep.
I don't know. LeBron getting the Oscar
It wasn't game
for
one.
his play on
Game one.
He getting the Oscar for his play, not for Space Jam. I can tell you that for a fact.
LeBron getting an Oscar
That's
for sure
crazy.
after the eye poke of doom and
What was on the floor like?
getting ran over by damn Chris Paul. Who gets
I
ran
don't
over
know
by
anybody
Chris
that
Paul?
can get blinded and hit a game clutch shot.
I just hit the shot.
I saw 4 different rims.
I just hit the one in the middle.
Yo,
really,
that foul.
really.
That foul that got called.
Bro.
He looked like Paul Pierce getting wheeled out to go take a shit. Come on now.
Yo,
Let's be realistic. Come on. Stop.
That
You gotta
was bad.
relax. That was bad.
No, that foul that got called on Trae Young that got called against the Knicks in the fourth quarter of game 1, that gave Atlanta that game, that I was like, yo, there was no way that was a foul.
That's
No
just
way.
a momentum.
If we talking about game 1, I think the real issue is Frank Ntilikina getting put in to guard Trae Young for that.
No, that's
last
game 2.
play. That was game 1. That was
Oh,
game
yeah.
1.
Oh, yeah. He was
That
on
was
the ball game 2,
100%
but
game
Game
1.
1, yes. Let me tell you something.
I threw shit at the damn TV. I was so upset. I'm like, why is he in the game? I got
But
2
again,
questions.
this
Hold up,
goes
Pete.
to talk
I got
about
2
that
questions. 2
that
questions.
Knicks depth.
One, why did they put Frank Ntilikina on Trae Young in game 1 in the fourth quarter? This man ain't been playing since Jesus was on Section 8. That's 1. 2, why the hell is Eldred Payton starting? Why? Why is he starting? Why? Derrick Rose is averaging over 26 points per game, but you got Eldred Payton starting. Why?
Because if Derrick Rose, start, listen. Don't make me mute you. Listen, because Derrick Rose is their spark off the bench. If you put those people on the bench, your bench is dead in the water, bro.
You know,
Right.
Your bench is dead in the water.
And Alfred Payton was
Eldred Payton is starting
for most of the
I'd
regular.
rather Eldred Payton start than Derrick Rose. Than Derrick Rose, not because he's better than Derrick Rose, which he's definitely not. But Eldred Payton not going to give you the same thing Derrick Rose give you off the bench.
Right.
What is Eldred
Absolutely
Payton
not,
giving?
bro.
What's he giving me? What's he giving us? What's he giving us? Please tell me what he giving us. Because Trae Young has been going off every time Eldred Payton is holding him. I want to know.
Who's guarding
No,
Trae Young
it's
anyway?
so much Trae Young going on. I don't understand how they have not figured out his skill set is very limited. So I don't understand how they have not figured out a defense for that.
What's been beating the Knicks?
Gallinari has been spotty as usual.
Bogdanovich has been killing.
I call him. What did I call him in the chat? Austin Orton.
Wow.
Gallinari. You get what I'm saying? The Knicks are beating themselves.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Part of it is the
Bogdanovich
Knicks
has been
beating
killing.
themselves with that defense, but a lot of it is the Knicks. What's been killing the Knicks is the depth of the Hawks. The depth, they have multiple. They got as spotty as Gallinari has been. You've got Gallinari, you've got Bogdanovich, you've got John Collins, you've got Trae Young.
It's not the depth. The Knicks' first unit have not showed up yet.
Right, you have besides. Okay, but tell me, besides the incredible game that Alec Burks had in game 1.
Who's the only one that's he's been showing up all 3 games.
Right.
Honestly.
And Rose.
But outside of, and let's not think about what they're doing right now, but outside of Julius Randle and Derrick Rose, there is nobody else on the Knicks. Oh, sorry, and RJ Barrett. who you can legitimately say
off and on RJ
there's
Barrett.
nobody else on that team that you can legitimately say I'm going to give the ball to go and score. And as Matt just said, RJ Barrett is off and on. As Dre said, you know, Derrick Rose is not a guy that's going to give you 40 minutes. He's supposed to be a guy to give you 25 to 30 a game coming off the bench and playing high energy. So really a lot of this falls on the shoulders of Julius Randle and RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett has been spotty, and Julius Randle's been in witness protection. So now when you take that out,
he ain't been locked up. He has not been locked up.
No,
he's just been doing
too much. He's been doing too much. He's been doing too much.
And if you can't score, and if your shooting percentage is going down and you're not scoring, my man, get active doing other stuff. Get other people involved. I don't understand what you doing.
So here's my thing,
That's
right?
the ball.
Here's my take, and people have been asking me, even at work and even at Legends last night. Shout out to the job chairs. So, is the Knicks? One of the major problems with the Knicks, and why can't they overcome the Hawks? Is what I've been saying from the beginning. Tay was right that Thibodeau will keep them in line defensively, 110%. Their problem is that they are too defensive for their own good and do not have enough offense. You can stop the Hawks every time down the line. You can stop them in the paint. They're hitting shots. Right, but I'm talking about in general. You can stop the Hawks in the paint outside. You can take Trae Young out the air if you want to. But if you can't score on the other end, you're not going to beat the Hawks. You're not going to beat the Hawks. Like, you're not. You're absolutely not.
Putting the ball in the basket.
Yeah, you can't. You have to put the ball.
That's what I sound like right now, because I kind of been throwing this theory that you just explained with the Nets, but then y'all said it was blasphemy. I'm just throwing that out there. If you can't score on the opposition, if they're scoring and you're not stopping them, how are you beating them if you're not stopping them?
The difference is that they got Kyrie, KD, and James Harden.
The Nets have 3 guys who can drop 30.
Don't do that. Don't do that. What happened?
You can't stop them.
They have 3 stars on their team.
They have 3 Hall of Famers on their team, bro. Like, come on.
Besides,
so you say Kyrie Irving's a Hall of Fame? I'm never going to forget that, by the way.
Kyrie Irving will go to the Hall of Fame for sure.
The biggest star the Knicks has on their roster is Derrick Rose.
That's what I'm talking about, Tay. Yes. I don't know where y'all been going with this. I said from the beginning of the season, I understand why they gave him that much money. But and don't get me wrong, he earned his money. But damn, you've been what? If Casper grew up in the hood, well, I swear to God, he looked like Julius Randle.
So going from the East Coast, let's go to the West Coast because I don't know which team to start with, but I'm gonna start with the team that's
all of them have been good series in the West.
No, talking. You know what teams I'm talking about.
I'm talking about Luka not playing with nobody's kids. That's what you need to be talking about.
They are this year's Heat.
The Mavs. Yes, the Mavericks are this year's Miami Heat for sure because they can beat you. You saw last year when it was only Luka, and then they had to injure Luka for them to beat them.
Which they just did.
Let me tell you something. The Clippers, like we said at the beginning of the season, they were my pick for the team that had the most to prove, besides Brooklyn.
I'm sorry, they ain't proved
so far.
Nothing yet.
The Clippers are exactly who I said they were. You get what I'm saying?
So, Tay, my question.
But the Mavs can't. The Mavs cannot afford. The Mavs cannot afford to have too many games in the playoffs where they're going out and only scoring 81 points.
Hold on.
Right.
But my question is, so is it still Doc Rivers' fault?
No.
Okay. Just want to put that out.
This still Doc Rivers' team.
I don't know, bro.
Hold on. Doc had some hand in that because not even talking about this Clippers team, they've had great teams put together. They've had great pieces. And we're never able to meet their expectations under Doc. So right now, you get what I'm saying? They're one step below where they should be. They're about to get eliminated.
No, it's true.
They still might get eliminated.
But imagine, let me say something. Getting swept.
Luka got hurt though.
Getting swept would have been a total embarrassment. Thank
Oh.
goodness they won one.
No, they won 2. It's tied up 2-2.
Oh, tied up,
I'm saying,
Yeah, no, but she's saying thank God they at least
I'm
won.
glad they did too, because I don't think the group page can handle another year of Stan burying the Clippers. I'm sorry, it's just.
But Stan gonna have his
bad.
own problems because the Lakers can't seem to put out the Phoenix Suns. And
Chris
just
Paul
as
is
I
back.
thought, was gonna happen, I didn't say it. I just wanted to watch it happen.
Oh, Anthony Davis getting hurt. Yeah, I knew that. Was
Anthony Davis getting
I
hurt,
knew
bro.
that.
I could
I
have been
saw
a
that was
millionaire.
happening. I saw
I
that
could have
coming
put
a
money
long
in
way
Vegas.
ago.
Like Anthony Davis is gonna get hurt in the playoffs. So is Chris Paul. Chris Paul's kind of like, all right, it happens all the time. But
He dropped 18 last night though.
Charmin,
Cool.
Anthony Davis, Snuggles, whatever
Clinic.
you want to call him,
My
man.
God.
Cotton L,
And
boy.
the problem, and the
Oh,
problem,
L.
My God.
the problem with Anthony
Anthony
Davis's injury
Davis.
is that's a groin injury. That is
Whoa.
a groin injury, and that could knock AD out for the rest of these playoffs.
Yep.
I'm tired of hearing. No, let me tell you something. There's 2 things I'm tired of hearing. I'm
Yeah.
tired of hearing Anthony Davis injured. I'm tired of it now. I'm tired of it now.
It took LeBron out for half a season. Remember?
He needs coaches, like he needs to switch his team. He needs a better
Nah.
conditioning coach. Every season is the same thing. Come on.
Well, LeBron's gonna have to put on the cape. LeBron gonna go into the back, get some of that.
Yeah, they're gonna get eliminated in the next round.
He gonna put on something.
I
He
don't
gonna go
know.
take-
You gonna get eliminated this
gotta
round.
I
move
don't know.
You gonna
Andre
get eliminated
Drummond.
this round.
Andre Drummond can't do nothing with Ayton. I'm sorry. Ayton's been consistently.
And what did I say? What did I say? What did I say on
Andre
the
Drummond
page?
cannot do nothing with Ayton. He's
What
been
did I say on the
consistent.
page?
He's been
I said I was gonna
consistently
keep the
20-something.
I said I was gonna keep the same energy in the playoffs when I see Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond is a bum. Bum. I said I was gonna wait to the playoffs
He's a
because
whole
people asked me on the page,
the bumper clock.
yo, wait until LeBron and AD get back and it'll be different. He is still a bum. He is trash can juice. I don't like him on the team. I would have rather.
You know what? I want
Marc Gasol starting. That's what I want.
I don't think we want that
I want
either.
Marc Gasol starting.
I don't think we want that either. True.
No, I want Marc Gasol starting.
I will say this though.
Boy.
DeAndre Ayton can't hold Marc Gasol.
I
Marc
want
Gasol can't hold DeAndre Ayton.
Cool. It's better than a one-sided matchup when DeAndre Ayton look like David Robinson. Like, come on. Like,
Damn, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I went into this weekend like, damn, man, Chris Paul out. It's about to be a wrap for Phoenix, and I like Phoenix. Don't get me wrong. I like Phoenix.
I do too.
I was like, it's about to be a wrap for them. I gotta hear Stan for the rest of this year talking about how Kawhi and the Clippers are bums. That's like this is what they are. I'm not even gonna hold you. They're bad.
They are.
This is where they messed up at. They got Pat Bev starting over Rajon Rondo, which I don't understand for the life of me.
That's
why I said
that's some Doc Rivers. That's some Doc Rivers shit right there, bro.
But listen, let's talk about tonight. Tonight Philly may be able to finish it off and sweep Washington.
Might.
Okay.
Might.
All right.
I don't count anybody out. Anybody can win anything on any given day.
Gentlemen sweep.
Gotta relax.
You have that another game. You have the Jazz looking to go up 3-1 against Memphis, who's been somewhat of a hard beat.
The Jazz have been having a hard time with Memphis, and I said it when Memphis beat the Warriors. They were gonna have a time with them. The Jazz may get out of here, but
but I'm looking.
John Morant has arrived. We need to shed more light to that.
Tomorrow.
He has arrived.
I'm really looking forward to tomorrow because we see if the Nets can pull it out in 5 games.
I'm sorry. Don't go nowhere off Brooklyn. How y'all lose to Boston?
Y'all. So you're not a Nets fan?
No, I'm still a Nets fan. I'm still a Nets fan, but I'm hosting the show, so I'm asking you guys.
Don't ask me.
I can't ask Tay. I'm not going to ask myself because I didn't see the game, but I'm sure you two did.
Because
How did they
Jason Tatum
lose?
went off.
Jason Tatum went off yesterday. Y'all beat him.
But it wasn't just Kevin Durant that went off. That whole team was scoring. The whole what? It's Bruce Brown had what 16?
I just want to know how they lost. I just
No,
want
but
to
in
know
the game,
I
that
can tell you why they lost. I can tell you why they lost. Kobe Bryant, Bird, Jason Tatum. Stop it. Stop it, Shinsuke. Stop it. What I'm saying is Kobe Bryant birthed Jason Tatum. That's what happened.
I mean, he went off. I mean,
off.
listen, that game, the game that we lost to the Celtics, you had a really good effort out of that Celtics
I
team.
can't wait till the fucking playoffs is over.
Everybody,
God, I can't wait. Oh, I'm gonna gloat for like a month.
everybody on that team had a really good game.
Do a stand.
Tatum went off for 50. Tristan Thompson had an old school Thompson performance with 19.
Did you see how unbelievable Tristan Thompson was after the game? He's like, "Oh, he couldn't have done that to me." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, sit down, F boy, sit down."
You got your own issues you need to deal with.
Couldn't have
been me.
Keeping up the Kardashian ass down somewhere. I don't know.
Now, what I do want to talk about, though, is probably the best series that nobody's talking about is Portland and Denver.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That series has been really good.
Why y'all let Melo get braids again? See,
because my man is
y'all let Melo get braids. Y'all let Melo get braids again, and it's a wrap. Y'all let Melo lose some weight and get braids, and it's a wrap.
Yup.
It's a wrap.
Still throwing threes to the dome. That's my man's.
Melo, and you know what's crazy? Melo do the same move every time. He look at you, he jab step, he fade away in the same spot, and he kills everybody.
Butter. Every time. It's crunchy Crockett. It's butter.
And it's funny because you're getting almost this variation, this variation of the rules where they basically have said, we're going to let Jokic score. Because when Jokic is busy scoring, he's not dishing. He's not doing all these other things. He's not as dangerous. He can score 50. Let him score 30. Let him score 40. If he's doing that, he's not getting 12, 13 assists. He's not doing all these other things that make Denver dangerous. And Portland's really employing that strategy of letting Jokic go off. And, unfortunately, Denver's not rearranging their game. And it'd be very interesting to see where this would be had point guard not gone down.
Murray.
Had Murray not gone down with an injury. Because I think this might have been a little bit harder for Portland to do. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to tell you right now, if Portland gets by on Denver, this is a 2-2 series. I mean, this is probably the best series going on in the playoffs right now. And I could see this going to 7 games.
I don't think it's the most livest. I think the Knicks and the Hawks was the most livest. Everybody
the Knicks and the Hawks remind everybody of the Knicks Pacers right now.
Yeah.
Trae Young is Reggie Miller right now.
He's 100% Reggie Miller.
I'm sorry. Trae DeBarge is Reggie Miller right now. And he hasn't started talking to Spike yet. He's been talking to the crowd. Oh, he's been
talking to Spike.
Ooh.
He's definitely been talking to Spike.
Ooh, man.
He was talking to 50 Cent too. That's why he got spit on. That's exactly why.
But I will also say this, and I said this in the chat. It is really weird watching these playoffs and seeing these full capacity crowds back again. It is so weird because we literally went from watching games with no crowds or very little crowds,
everybody,
to just like, yo, let everybody in.
Utah has been the biggest culprit because they have they have 71% capacity in the arena.
But it don't feel like nothing compared to that Garden crowd.
No, and the Garden was barely full.
And then the Knicks won that one game in game 2, and everybody celebrated like they won the chip.
It's been a long time coming. When was the last time Knicks was in the playoffs?
Fans beware. Y'all couldn't even
Here we go.
Their tickets sold.
Stop.
Why was the ticket so expensive for Nets game anyway?
Because they have 3 stars now.
Yes.
Because of that rust-colored prison on Flatbush Avenue.
You gotta relax.
Okay, so
we live in Brooklyn. We are from Brooklyn.
Yeah, you know what's not from Brooklyn?
Oh man. Matt, you dug his hole. I'm mute my mic. I don't got nothing to do with this.
70% of the people who live in that area, they don't come from here. They don't care about our neighborhoods and the hood. Come on, man, get out of here.
You can't even say nothing because you're not lying. So,
I can't afford to live in Brooklyn. That's a real
right,
thing.
because the damn Barclays Center there.
You know what's on Flatbush Avenue? People say, used to be able to hear bumper clock on Flatbush. Now you hear bumper clock.
Yo, this is how bad it is with Brooklyn. When I was reading the article where they talking about, somebody went from living in a 1-bedroom paying, $2,600 to living in a 2-bedroom paying $2,900 in Williamsburg. I'm like, you're paying $3,000?
First of all, you were paying $2,000 for a 1-bedroom. First of all, to now $800 more for two.
No, because they were saying
you're still losing.
They were saying it's a golden time for renters now in New York, and they were talking about how somebody went from a 1-bedroom in like Flatbush to like a 2-bedroom in Williamsburg for like I think like $200 more than what they were paying, but it's a better thing for them. And I'm just like, really? So we okay with paying $3,000 for the apartment?
When I say I hate it here, I literally hate it here. like I said, I remember when Barclays was built, and we had a conversation about this once upon a time on After the Year, and Barclays took a lot of people out their homes. Like I saw my boy get a letter. Like I was living over there. No, I was going to junior high school over there, and yeah, he got a note, and he was showing us like, yeah, they're about to build the arena, and they're about to start knocking stuff down. I'm just like. And they're offering such and such to move us to a different spot. And while they're still building the parking lot like they're still doing now, and it's like, yikes. But
I've been in the Barclays, I think 5 times. 4 of them, 4 of them have been for wrestling events. The one thing I could say that's great about the Barclays is there's not a bad seat in the house. Like there is not a bad viewpoint.
Viewpoint, yes. Viewpoint, yes.
Yeah, like they built it with the idea like no matter where you're sitting, you can see whatever's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this: I think the one game I went to, my boy Justin and me, we went to go see the Lakers and the Nets, and we're sitting all the way up at the top, and the entire game I'm holding on because I felt like I was gonna fall off and fall onto the court because that top level is built on such an angle. Like you feel like you're about to fall out your seat and fall down into the middle of the arena.
Yeah, I saw it for that Jay-Z concert. That was like the opening night. The Jay-Z concert. I was there for that. That was way up there. And I felt scared. I didn't get up once.
For the 4 wrestling events I've been to, not a bad viewpoint from anywhere I've sat.
So real quick before we wrap this up.
Pump the brakes. The only good thing about the Barclays Center, right, is nothing.
That's just special service announcement.
You gotta relax. You really
from the Queen.
God, gee.
7K Tay.
Really?
Putting the K on the table.
Y'all don't want me to put a K on the table because I could.
No, we don't.
I bet you could.
We don't.
Get my envelope from under the mattress.
All right, so
wow.
One last thing, and this is wow.
I just want a job.
Word, yo.
Listen, this one last thing, and this is COVID related, and it pertains to soccer that I was just sent. Amanda sent it to
the
me.
envelope, my money.
So I thank her for sending it to me. The Copa America has been moved from Argentina to Brazil over COVID concerns, right?
I'm just joking. Come on.
South America's governing body announced that the 2021 Copa America tournament has been switched from Argentina to Brazil 13 days before its start date. Fairs continue over the current COVID situation in South America. So again, this is just letting everybody know, again, COVID is still real. Please, please, please get everything you need to get done. Please wear your mask and just do the right thing, guys. That's pretty much.
And Argentina actually pulled out. The host country itself said, we can't do this.
Most definitely. Oh, gosh. So, see, look, Tay, you was talking about, your new stuff. See, look, I got a little something too now. Look, just a little bit.
Dre dollars.
Just a little bit.
The icy ice.
I came out in my White Ranger attire yesterday, so but
yeah, $3.
had to. So again, shout out to the Job Tears Network, the Job Tears Podcast, 2.5 Bros, Sasson Talk of Champions, everybody. Us, of course, at the Yerrr Sports Show. Again, shout out to Battle Club Pro. They put on a phenomenal show on set this weekend. Phenomenal 2 shows. Shout out to everybody who popped up to the viewing party last night. And Job Slam is coming, y'all. It's coming. And what time is it? It is 7:19 while we're recording this. Again, as we said it last time, the main event of Jobber Slam will be Tasha Steelz versus Big Swole for the franchise championship, the Battle Club Pro franchise championship. No, Icon championship. Sorry. So be tuned for that. Also, Wilkin versus Simon Miller from What Culture. So that's going to be dope too. So keep your eyes and ears on everything Jobber Tears Network and Yerrr Sports Show related to. We got a lot coming up. So for the voice of the generation, Pete Rosado. For Maxine Shaw, who's not on camera, he's probably gathering his kids, BK Nat. For the Queen, 7K Tay, the head of the Yerrr Sports Show table, it is your boy, Big Baby, signing off.